whole foods mostly. 80 to 90% is ideal. Focusing on higher protein and higher fiber. Constantly striving for what you can handle will actually slow down or sometimes even go backwards on your progress. So you want to try to measure whatever you're focusing on, put a number on, make sure it's measurable, and then try to improve on that number. All right, guys, let's talk about some fitness, diet programming, getting your dream body, all, gains and whatnot stuff. So if I were my own client,
out of this world, I've been gone. 3, 2, 1, I'ma lift off. I don't play games like Jigsaw. Raised by the wolves, I'm a big dog. Waited my turn for too long. I'ma take over like King Kong. Foot on that gas, no pit stop. 3, 2, 1, I'ma lift off. Stick to the grind and I never gon' stop. Everything I wanted, I already.
What's up, guys? My name is Kage. Welcome back to my channel, Street Beast TV. Let's talk about how to get back on track, programming, diet, fitness, mindset goals, all that good stuff. But before we do that, I am starving after that really good workout I just did. We'll talk about it, but first let me make breakfast and I'll also talk about that as well with some, diet tips and that good stuff. So let me prepare breakfast. So I'll start with just water and a protein powder that I like. I like to try to be keto. I like to be also paleo, sugar-free, low carb, carnivore sometimes as well. So then, to kind of help curb the craving and really bump up the volume of food, I'll start chewing on a little bit of ice. So this really gets like the mind thinking that there's actually food, so that you don't crave a lot of these, really bad foods. So the first protein drink is more of the appetizer, but then for dessert, I'll actually mix the chocolate or vanilla, or sometimes I go with the cookies and cream flavor, and I'll mix that with ice, and then it's like an ice cream. So you have that cookies and cream and kind of ice cream, and that just really satisfies me for dessert.
Comedy.
That's not what I have for breakfast. This is what I actually have for breakfast. Okay, so this is what I'm actually having for breakfast. I'm cooking the tofu scramble, and then for this plate here, I have a piece of toast, and I'm going to put avocado on. And this waffle, I actually made a few of them for the week. I made them myself, so they have mostly wholesome ingredients. Sometimes I put peanut butter, but lately I've been using this chickpea butter. So it's going to be the waffle, the chickpea butter. I'm going to crumble a peanut butter protein bar on top with some, I have some cashews and walnuts. So typically when you're trying to get back on track and you're trying to eat healthy, it's not about being perfect. It's about doing your best to enjoy the diet, but also focus on nutritious foods. We got the tofu scramble and the avocado toast, got the waffle with the chickpea butter, and on top we have the walnuts, cashews, and the protein bar. So the most important thing in this meal is I'm trying to focus on whole foods. I'm trying to focus on higher fiber. But yeah, basically the tofu scramble is really high in protein, and I love to pair that with a good balance of healthy fats and carbohydrates. So the toast and avocado pair really well with my tofu scramble, so I enjoy it. And then for the waffle, I try to make it, instead of buying a waffle from, what is that brand called? Eggo's?
Lego my Eggo, please.
That's all processed and sugar and stuff. Or if I make it myself, I can make it a little bit higher in protein, more higher in fiber, more whole foods based. I'm rambling, but moral of the story with nutrition, you want to find balance. You want to focus on whole foods, high protein, high fiber. This is going to fuel your workouts. This is going to make you feel the best. You don't want to deprive yourself and only eat chicken, broccoli, and rice all the time. If that's what you enjoy, that's fine. But I think most people force it for the most part. If you're trying to build, a body that can perform and be strong, you want to be a little specific. You want to take time to cook your own meals and find out what you like. Really take the time, because if it's important to you, you'll make time for it. So if you're thinking, I don't want to cook, then it might not be as important as you thought it was. So really take that into consideration. All right, guys, let's talk about some fitness, diet programming, getting your dream body, all, gains and whatnot stuff. Selfishly, one of the reasons I want to make this video is accountability for myself, because I'm trying to get back on track in my own routine. Because long story short, I was doing a lean bulk, like I was feeling really good with my jumping, and I was making gains left and right. I was gaining muscle for about like 8 to 10 weeks, and I was tracking everything. My diet was on track. I was feeling really good, and then I injured my knee. And that took me out for a few weeks. I was in the hospital, I was limping, I was sad, and I feel like these past few weeks I gained some body fat. I probably lost some muscle. I lost strength in the leg that I injured my knee on. The mobility went away too, like just a bunch of stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, this really stinks. My stress has just been everywhere the past few weeks, and everything has just gone to complete shit. So if I were my own client, I would tell myself to make a new plan, get back on track, and reassess everything. So that's pretty much the point of this video, and I want to share with you, some of my experiences when I'm going through, but things that you can also apply to yourself depending on your journey. And if you're trying to get back on track from whatever, from taking a break from fitness, from injury, whatever it is, these are kind of the principles that are going through my head as I'm going through programming my own fitness, diet, supplements, and all this good stuff. So we're going to tackle a few of the main the big hitters, and it's really going to move the needle. That's really going to make a big difference in getting back on track and feeling good, strong, and whatnot. All right, so number one, we want to focus on something important. Ideally, I don't like telling people to focus on aesthetics or the weight on the scale. That is a good motivator once in a while, or maybe in the beginning of your fitness journey. It's better to have performance-based goals. Me personally, right now, I'm going through a strength phase. I want to still do a lean bulk. I want to still gain muscle. I want to put some lean body mass on me. Build some strength in the main lifts, the squat, the deadlift, the bench, the overhead press. And then I know my hips are really tight, and I've always wanted to do a pancake and also do a press to handstand. So I'm focusing a lot of my mobility, doing loaded mobility, loaded stretching. I'm focusing on my strength, and I'm focusing on my mobility and writing down goals that I can measure and then compare later. And that's just gonna drive my focus and attention and drive to get to the gym and to do the sets and reps and everything I need to do, because I want to see the difference. In a few weeks, I want to look back and I want to see some muscle on my body, and I want to see the numbers on the weight go up, and I want to see the flexibility in my hips improve. That is my focus personally, but for anybody else, it could be different. Depending on what you want, you need to find something that motivates you, that you really want in fitness or in health, that you can focus on for yourself. And then I kind of touched on this just now, but progressive overload, if you've never heard of that, it's pretty popular, but it's basically the idea that you progressively overload whatever you're doing to improve on whatever you're working on. So basic example is like a bicep curl. You can curl 25 pounds for 10 reps, let's say. You do that for a week, and the next week you do maybe for 12 reps. That's a little bit more. So you're progressively overloading the stress on the bicep, and the next week maybe you keep it 12, and then you try to do 30 pounds. So you want to try to measure whatever you're focusing on, put a number on it, make sure it's measurable, and then try to improve on that number week by week and slowly get stronger, slowly get better at that. And then for breakfast, we already pretty much talked about nutrition, but again, summary, whole foods, mostly 80 to 90% is ideal. Focusing on higher protein and higher fiber, and the protein should be around 1 gram per pound of body weight. So I'm around 130, 135, so I should be getting around 130 to 135 grams of protein every day. It might go a little bit higher or lower on some days, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And now what's pretty much just as important as stressing the body to build and fueling it is also recovery and rest and letting the body actually grow. So we'll talk about that next. So we talked about training and nutrition, which is very important, but equally as important is talking about recovery. Resting is when our bodies use the fuel we intake and rebuild our muscles as a form of adaptation. Basically, we need the right balance of stressing the body with training, but then allowing the rest and recovery process to build muscle, increase strength, or burn fat. If we skip this recovery and just constantly hammer our bodies, this can lead to poor hormone levels, less strength and muscle adaptation, and even promote fat storage. So I definitely encourage you to find the right balance of training and recovery for yourself. Side note, it's especially easy to overtrain in the first few weeks because we're not as conditioned, so don't be afraid to take it slow in the beginning while your body begins to adapt. Also, resting doesn't mean sitting on the couch all day and watching TV. There are active rest activities you can do that will actually promote recovery and can even supplement the training adaptations you're looking for. This can include breath work, yoga, ice baths, saunas, mobility, skills training, light cardio, walking, hiking. Last note I want to leave you with is the minimum effective dose idea. Although most of us want everything now and all at once, it's actually better to implement the minimum effective dose strategy. This strategy implies you do the least amount of work to induce the adaptation you're looking for. There is a difference between what your body can handle versus the right amount of volume and intensity that's going to give you the optimal training results. Constantly striving for what you can handle will actually slow down or sometimes even go backwards on your progress. It's because your body can't recover and repair fast enough because you're in a constant tissue breakdown state. The body needs to repair, but equally as important, time to adapt to the stress so that it can handle more stress the next time. Without the time to repair and the time to adapt properly, you won't progress. So the goal is to do as little as possible to elicit the most amount of change so you don't overstress your body, plus you'll feel better, less sore, and you can save adding more stress for later as you progressively overload appropriately. What's up guys, Editing Kaye here. So if you liked the video, definitely give it a thumbs up, really helps out the channel. If you want to add anything or have any questions of what I said in the video, let me know in the comments below. And I'm also doing a special, a free 12-week one-on-one nutrition coaching. So if you guys are interested in improving your nutrition and talking about diet and all that good stuff, comment down below with the word monkey and I'll personally reach out to you. Anyways, I'm out.